There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Can we stop for ice cream, Bart? Can we stop for ice cream? Oh, it's the Max! Oh, the Portland Light Rail System, the Max, and that's what it actually looks like. How sweet! So end of May, June, July, and now we're into August, so...
That was the longest night of my life.
Good morning from Bakersfield, California. I'm Simulator Dirk and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. Today we are here in our Bakersfield depot. We're on our way to Texas with a excavator on the back. Let's say good morning to Mr. Morgan Freeman.
The time has arrived, President Wazer. The world awaits your commands.
All right. Now, hopefully the engine's sounding a little bit different from the last episode. I've put a couple of engine sound mods in. So to bring you back up to speed, it's Wednesday morning just after 6 a.m. We've just had a rest break. We've got 1,083 miles to go, 19 hours if we could drive continuously, which we can't. We're expected Thursday night, early Friday morning is when we're expected. Our next rest break is in just under 14 hours. So that'll take us through to just around 8 p.m. So here's our truck. I'm just going to continue to steer towards the left at the moment. If we have to go around the block, we have to go around the block. To me, the engine sounds better today.
Continue straight.
So just under 14 hours of driving remaining for today, 19 and a half hours in total, so we are going to have to take another rest stop. So we didn't have a full day of driving yesterday when we picked up the load, but today is going to be a full day of driving. Oh, there's a train. Now I'm going to go really slowly because I want to see this train. Me being me, I have installed train mods, and one of those includes the length of the train. That one wasn't bad. So basically I'm going to keep it driving as long as I can today. It's going to be a full daylight run today. I like driving in the daylight, especially.
400 meters, turn right.
I like driving in daylight, you know, because there's often not a lot to see during the night.
Turn right.
Looks like we've got us a convoy. Thank you. One thing I noticed, that it usually don't give you a lot of time to merge on. So it was good that we were able to rest in our own depot in Bakersfield. Oh, there's a sign for San Luis Obispo, 1 mile. So we basically turned off.
Right. And then exit right.
Oh, gotta do this.
Exit right.
Hang on, Mr. Morgan Freeman. I'm playing tourist for just 1 moment. There we go. It's one for you, Shauna. Alright, let's go and drive trucks. Let's get her done.
Turn right.
Now this little bit it feels like I've already done. This was because I went around the block. Now it's basically taken us an hour to go around the block because of how time works in here. See, I haven't looked at a map, but I don't understand why we're taking all these little, like going through Bakersfield or whatever. That can't be the quickest way.
Continue straight.
So we're basically coming up. There's our depot on the right hand side where we came out of this morning. Oops. Waiting for the lights. So we're going to be passing a couple of question marks up here. One of them I reckon is a dealer, and the others, oh, it looks like a Peterbilt dealer and a recruitment agency. Is it going to say we're going to be close enough for either of them?
Straight.
Probably not going to be close enough to either of them to get recognised. But I guess the only advantage of going through places like this is then it feels like you're actually going through somewhere. You're not just spending the whole time on the interstate. But having said that, you would think that this is not the quickest way to go. Yeah, the engine's definitely sounding better this morning, sounding more like a Kenworth, sounding more like a truck. So regardless, we know we're going to be going into a third day, because we know we're going to have to rest at this stage. So today's going to be a long driving day, the next day is going to be a shorter driving day, and we'll complete the load, complete the delivery. So it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit outside, according to the tablet on our dash. Oi! Tumbleweeds. So in the Australian map, you can get kangaroos and camels cross your path like that. In the outskirts of Bakersfield, you get tumbleweeds. And there's some more. Oh, there's some more tumbleweeds. Look at that. I don't want to hit one. That's a spin out. But as I've said before, to be a good simulator, you actually do have to think that you are driving through where you're driving through, and yeah, it also helps that I have driven extensively around the US. Now you might be saying, as an Australian citizen, how am I extensively driving around the US? Well, extensively might be the wrong word, but when you go on an American road trip for 3 months and you're driving basically every day, I haven't driven that much around Australia, and I live here. I've driven from Sydney to Brisbane and back once. I've never driven Sydney to Melbourne. We've got some slow traffic coming up here. What's going on? Got some road work up ahead, maybe an accident. Something's going on ahead. I'm not exactly sure what. Oh, it's a lane merge. Oh, and there's smokies. There was a smoky, a two-wheel smoky. Ah, there we go. That explains it. Just the merge there. And the smoky. The police motorcyclist. The chippy on a bike. He was the putting on top. He was the exclamation point of that sentence. I think we're still in California. All right, where are we going now? We're in Barstow again. I've been here, so I'm still definitely in California. I don't want to go to LA. Oh.
Keep left.
Oh no, the road's blocked. The road's blocked. We're gonna have to exit here. Oh, the road's blocked. We're not going anywhere. We're heading towards LA again, which in some ways might not be a bad thing. Can we just stay on an interstate for a while? Ah, truckie's lost his load and he's gone over. Oh, and the CHP car's gone over as well. Oh, wowie. That's not good. So we're going to have to take a detour here. Now it's got us doubling. It's got us exiting at the next off ramp.
Keep right. Exit right. In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
What do I have to do? Do I have to pull out Google Maps? And do I have to put in the route on Google Maps and go, well, okay, this is the way we should be going? Because we seem to be doing all this driving and we haven't left California yet.
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
So we're heading towards Vegas now.
Keep left.
Now we don't want to end up in Bakersfield again. And I don't want to head to Bairstow again. So I think I'm comfortable in this lane because the left lane mainly seems to be exits and entries. Whereas this always seems to be the right lane, even though sometimes it's the middle lane when they add the third lane. Oh, they're going to have us exit now. Heading towards Flagstaff.
Keep right. And then turn right. Turn right.
That seems to have taken a lot of time. Oh, hot air balloons again. Seems to have taken a lot of time to point our truck east on an interstate. Should we just stay on here? Should we just stay on I-40 and just head east and... Is that what I need to do? Do I need to plan the route myself? That'd be nice if there was a setting that says prioritize interstates. Because it's pretty much 24 hours since I left San Francisco and we're still in California. Yes, I know we've had a rest stop. Oh, we've got some road work coming on up here. I'm just going to stay here for the moment. Until they tell me which lane's closed. Ah, this one's closed, so we're going to have to move over when we can. This is a big improvement from the original state of American Truck Simulator, where there was never any road work, there was never any events. I'm just going to let my colleagues ahead of me. A friend of mine once described this as professional courtesy. Oh, there's a plane landing. It looks like it's going to land over there. Or he's flying around at least. In a vintage plane. That's cool. And here's our roadwork. And I can hear a helicopter ahead. I don't know why you wouldn't have those portable buildings not on the lane. Looks like they've set up camp there for months based on that. Alright, we'll move over and watch all the cars zoom past us on the left. So under 1,000 miles to go now. Lunchtime Wednesday. Oh, it's only 55, not 65. I remember years ago when I actually was in the States. And some people I knew over there and was hanging out with were actually cops, and we were talking about speeds and all of that sort of stuff, and I remember, I think now I was in one of the Dakotas, and I got pulled over by the state troopers, and I think he had me for 3 miles over. I can bypass the way station. Cool, thank you. And he also thought I was tailgating. But you know, just driving like I would normally drive. But what he saw was a guy in a Californian Jeep heading across country. Who knows what he's got on board? We'll just use that excuse that he's 3 miles over just to wheel him over and just to have a look, and then he found out I was Australian. I wasn't that far over the limit. Everything was okay in the vehicle, and I was cooperative. So he obviously didn't find what he was thinking, and so I actually described it to a mate of mine who was a cop at the time in America. Whoops. I just bumped the camera button on the controller. Pepsi truck. I was telling a mate of mine who was a cop at the time, and who I later got to see when I visited him on the East Coast. And he basically said that, you know, state trooper on an interstate 3 miles over, yeah, you've given him grounds to pull you over. Especially being with an out-of-state vehicle, but he's basically tried to go on a fishing expedition. But he was saying that if you were driving, you know, on the road and you just happened to pass a local cop, he wouldn't have even looked at you for 3 miles over. When I was in America, I was surprised but happy I was able to do it. I actually went for a ride along with a city police department on the East Coast. And so I spoke to the cop that I was riding with, and knowing that he's local compared to a state trooper or highway patrol, what's his policy, especially if he's got a lot of other jobs on at the time. And we actually did do a bit of static radar. So for him to really pay attention, you'd have to be 15 to 20 miles over, depending on where you were and that sort of stuff. You know, on a main road that's not a highway. We're not talking a little cul-de-sac or whatever. You know, a busy road that's not a highway. It's a main connecting road, but it's not a highway. So in that case, if you're 3 miles over, you're not going to be, you know, because their main job isn't traffic. It isn't road rules and that sort of stuff. Now, if you're, you know, doing things like running red lights, etc., well, that's, you know, obviously different. But it was an educational experience, and I remember we were at 7-Eleven and we were getting something to eat and drink. So went in, got something to drink, come out, and then one of the guy's colleagues was interacting with one of the local people. And so I got what I wanted, and then I'm just at the front, and then I'm just watching what's going on, as a member of the public would. And once the guy that I was with went over to give his colleague a hand, because often they're one out or they're one up. We're 191 miles from Flagstaff, Arizona. So once they'd finished with old mate that they were talking to, the female officer was going to come over and have a chat with me, because she's like, oh, we're now in Arizona. Finally. So it was a case of, you know, why is this guy hanging around? You know, there's one thing about just having a look and then moving on, but this guy was, i.e. me, was hanging around for ages, and she was going to come over and interview me because, you know, am I a mate of this guy's? Am I going to turn things on? You know, why am I hanging around and watching what's going on here? And especially considering this was 2009, we really hadn't got to the stage yet of everybody filming everybody. That seems to happen these days. And then the guy that I was with had to tell his offsider, nah, he's with me, he's with us, it's all good. And then we were just having a chat and all that sort of stuff. So Oh, historic Route 66.
Continue straight.
I don't think I've ever seen a sign like that in American Truck Simulator that says, you know, this way to Route 66. This, in terms of the map itself, by the way, is still vanilla. It's not a ProMods addition to the map, but there are things that I have changed. Like, there's realistic company mods. I've got rid of all the green icons. You know, real service stations, gas stations, that sort of thing. It's not...
Continue straight.
It's not 100% vanilla, but it's not 100% modded either. Oh, we can go 65. I'm in Arizona now. I can do 65. We just went over a line on the map, and all of a sudden I can do 65, and that's all good. Now I can do 75. Holy crap! And here I was in California being able to do 55. Now we've crossed the state border. Turn off for Phoenix coming up. Phoenix, Arizona is hot. Oh, there's actually a Route 66 on my mini-map briefly. No, we're still going. We're not going through Phoenix. Because this is the thing. I don't know, and I presume they've mapped this route for its entirety. This was the interesting thing about it. When American Truck Simulator started, it was just California. And then, you know, since then they've added other states as well. Arizona, New Mexico, Nevada, Washington, Oregon, Montana, Idaho now. Texas is more recent. I think they're setting me up for a way station up here. Although it's a big hill, so that's why they want to keep me in this right-hand lane. Elevation 4,000 feet. So over time they've increased the map. In earlier episodes I did have the ProMods installed, and so basically you could drive from coast to coast. No, hang on, that wasn't ProMods, that was coast to coast. We're at 5,000 feet now. This is the weird thing, or one of the weird things about America. And I compare it to Australia a lot, because basically the size of mainland USA is basically the same size as Australia. Whereas Australia doesn't have the population. So in Australia we have, all of our states and territories have their own police forces, their own fire departments, their fire services and ambulance EMS services. And for police, there's also the Australian Federal Police, and then you sort of go above that, and you know, you've got ASIO and all of that sort of stuff. But at the basic level, we've got our state and territory police forces, and then we've got the Australian Federal Police. We don't have, in Australia, we don't have a police department for every city, for every local area. Yeah, we've got our local area commands and that sort of thing. We've got some roadway coming up here, I think. You know, we've got our local area commands, that sort of thing, or here in New South Wales, at least these days, they're known as police districts. They used to be known at one stage as local area commands, but it's all part of the one police department. And we share our information across borders. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to move over here. So the fire truck's going to stay there because he's just arrived on scene. Oh no, he's going to go through as well. Okay. So a nose to tail crash, a fender bender. Although that first car is munted. Oh wow, that's not good. Our fatigue meter is right up. Our next rest stop is in about 2.5 hours. So that'll take us through to about 8 o'clock. $670 miles to go. We've still got 32 hours in our window.
Continue straight.
So 2.5 hours. So basically 8 o'clock will be our limit. We'll just keep driving. And we're 43 miles away from Flagstaff. Now Arizona's another big state. So in Australia, if we're driving along the road, you know, there's not usually a sign that says you're now entering. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. You are now entering where I used to live, the Penrith City Council area. You know, we do have here in Newcastle, we do have signs that say, welcome to Newcastle. You know, when we reach the, but we don't necessarily, a lot of people don't think of those as the, you know, the Newcastle City Council border areas. Was that the Arizona Divide? I think it was. We're entering a national forest. So it's a turn off for Flagstaff and Phoenix, which hopefully we're not going down, to the Grand Canyon. Flagstaff city limits. On American Truck Simulator, can you go to Nutbush? That's a question. Is there actually, after the song, is there actually a town or city, or probably more to the point, a city, is there a city in America called Nutbush? So an hour 40 of fatigue left. I didn't see how far it was to Albuquerque, but we probably won't make it there before our rest runs out. Watch for wildlife, dusk and dawn.
Continue straight.
So Arizona's like 294 miles to Albuquerque. No, we're not going to make that in an hour 18. I knew I should have turned left at Albuquerque. So one thing we do know is that we have plenty of... once we stop, we'll have a full day of driving. Well, not a full day of driving, but this will be our last rest stop that we need to make. So if we see a gas station that's got a rest area attached, that's probably a good thing at this point. Yes, yes, we're getting tired, we know. So they're actually trusting us trucks to go as fast as the cars, which is not necessarily common in America. Now we've got 1480 miles to empty. So we're going to make it on fuel, but considering that I'll be driving the truck after this anyway, well, I'll fill up when we see a rest stop. We are getting sleepy, I know. Well, we do have a fuel station coming up. Oh, and there's a rest area. Oh, we've got 7 minutes of driving time remaining, so we better... It's alright, Mr. Morgan Freeman, we're going for sleepy.
Continue straight.
Alright, I can see...
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
I need to... Actually, I'm going to go up this way and then...
Make a U-turn. Let's keep our enemies guessing.
We're going to rest here. Alright, I think we've parked pretty well. Yes, we have. So from Arizona, I've been Simulated Eck. You've been wonderful. Thank you very much for watching. And it's time to sleep, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
There are those who would like to see you fail in your journey. That's not going to happen on my watch. Let's go.
Can we stop for ice cream, Bart? Can we stop for ice cream? Oh, it's the Max! Oh, the Portland Light Rail System, the Max, and that's what it actually looks like. How sweet! So end of May, June, July, and now we're into August, so...
That was the longest night of my life.